right, hello everybody. Once again here tonight covering some of the Overwatch action happening in the Canadian Esports Nationals. We have the Division 2 Grand Finals lined up here. It is going to be Western University taking on the University of New Brunswick. I have both these teams in the lobby right now. We're just waiting to get some map picks out, some bans out. So while we wait for that, let's have a look at our rosters. The first one is going to be Western University. We have Blue Ice and Brandon Asor on those DPS roles. Do the Tank, Jester and Dr. Tony going to be on those supports. And I had an opportunity before the match to actually reach out to the teams and get the actual heroes that they wanted to be on their roster scene. So both of these teams have selected what hero is going to represent them, and Dr. Tony selecting the Mercy. Now, I don't know if anybody else got to see some of the streams that I've covered already for CEN, but I did have Western University on the stream prior, and we did get to see some Mercy and some Moira, so definitely a couple of heroes that you don't always get to see in the competitive scene. So super excited for what Western University is going to be bringing to this grand finals. But on the other side, we have the lone maritime university participating. It is the University of New Brunswick. We have Zin, Sniper, and Odyssey on those DPS. D-Mister going to be the tank, your beloved, and Munkinj on the support line. And I did get the pronunciation for Munkinj as well, so hopefully I'm not going to mess that up too much as we go through this series. It is going to be a 1st to 3 here, best of 5. Just waiting. We do have the first map selection in here, so let's go ahead and take a look at where we're going to be going, and it might not be a surprise to many people. It is going to be Ilios, our starting map here, and this is a map that both of these teams do have experience on. I think the University of New Brunswick has played Ilios 4 times throughout this tournament here, so definitely a lot of experience from them. Western University, I went back and took a look at some of their past games, and they actually haven't had the opportunity to really play that many matches. Unfortunately, a handful of forfeits and a bye week hit Western University, so maybe not necessarily as warmed up as University of New Brunswick, but definitely had lots of time to kind of prepare for this grand finals. And we do have the bans coming in as well. Taking a look over at those, as it is going to be Western University opting for the first ban here, and they have chosen to take the Reaper out. So we will not have the DPS hero in for Ilios. I'm going to go ahead and fill in these bans in my in-game scene. University of UNB, University of New Brunswick, going to be responding with a ban onto the Winston here. Not surprising here for me. UNB definitely does seem to favor some of these more off-tank tanks. So I'm thinking the Diva probably going to make an appearance here for UNB. Western, seeing Do play a little bit more of those kind of traditional main tanks. The Winston definitely is in his hero pool there. So having that taken out here brings into question kind of what is Western going to play instead, as we get ready to head into a beautiful Ilios here. We are going to be starting out things on well. Definitely an option to play dive here. Of course, you won't be able to play that Winston. But we've also seen some brawl here. Do has shown us some of the Junker Queen, I believe it was, and the Ramatra. So some options here, as I was thinking that maybe UNB would start out on the Diva, but no, it is going to be the other favored off tank of D-Mister. Zarya going to be selected here. Doors still closed. Still a chance for some changes to be made to these compositions. But Lucio Kiriko Definitely expecting to see this backline. Brandon Asor over on that Genji as well. Blue Ice going to show us the Freya, and Do is going to go ahead, select that Junker Queen, Odyssey, on the Symmetra. I'm expecting just the TP out and then probably the swap back over onto that Venture. Yes. All right. Some pretty different compositions here, but essentially still playing for this rush. Junker Queen composition gonna have to try and break through these bubbles of D-Mister, as it is gonna be UNB dropping towards the cage first to start things out. Nice rotation coming through. They're trying to clear as much space as they can without taking a whole lot of damage. Odyssey on this Venture wants to get up close and personal against this composition. That Western is running. Point now unlocking here, and I mean, it's been a full map flip here for these two teams. Trying to find an opening here, D-Mister. Getting some charge off of that Venture. Odyssey falling just a little bit too low, though. First blood is going to go the way of Western, but immediately is responded to by UNB. Lot of charge on this Zarya right now, and those Kiriko kills from Dr. Tony just not really going to be... Oh, he's managing to keep Do alive, but Western has gotten very, very split here. It is going to be that hinder that comes through in the meanwhile. The point did flip over in favor of UNB here. And they are going to be gaining percentage here. Can't push too aggressively here. You did get that late kill onto Blue Ice, who, by the way, has already built up to this Bola. Really, really impressive. A lot of damage being done on this Freya, but you still have to wait for Monk Engine Zin Sniper to come back in. They will have 5 members here now ready to go for UNB. Nice take aim shot, connects onto Odyssey. He manages to stay alive through that. Blue Ice looking for an opportunity to use this Bola. Everybody from UNB inside that cage room. Nicely timed Zuzu from Beloved, but Brandon Asora able to follow up on that damage from Blue Ice. Jester does end up falling though. Zin Sniper finding that Lucio out. A lot of healing gone, but the point, it flips over briefly here, at least to Western. D-Mister still very charged up, still doing a whole lot of damage. And UNB playing very patiently there, allowing that cap to go over 10% on the board here for Western. But now UNB, you have this Kitsune Rush to work with, you have this Grav to work with, which is massive. Jester just hasn't been able to build up to this beat yet, so you really don't have much of a response here if you're Western, and you need to take a really quick dry fight if you're Western. You need to get some of these ultimates out, so that once you get to that 80%, you're going to be able to come back in. There's the Grav out, comboed with the Deadeye. Oh, Zin Sniper, oh, just absolutely tearing apart those 3 members of Western caught in that Grav. At least everybody from Western, ooh, okay, except for Brandon Asor is going to get that wave spawn. The team kill coming in at 82% here. It's good ult economy here as well from UNB, although no ults online just yet for Western. There is an opportunity here. Rampage in. Connects onto 2 members. Manages to take out Zin Sniper. The Cassidy now gone from this fight. Didn't have an ult to work with, but a lot of consistent damage. Beat and rush out from the side of UNB. We do have a response in the rush from Dr. Tony, but doesn't really seem like Western's able to really do anything with it. This tectonic shock from Odyssey just absolutely shutting down the pathway forward for Western here. Overtime is ticking, and with just Brandon Asor alive, that's going to be it. 100% to 10 as UNB start out with a point on Lijiang.
0-1.
Really nice stuff so far from UNB. Playing a pretty solid composition here. You have that Reaper ban come out. You're able to have Odyssey move over onto this Venture. You can essentially play this Zarya composition the exact same way.
Keep up.
And maybe even a little bit stronger, honestly, especially into this Junker Queen comp. The Reaper maybe gets forced out a little bit by that Junker Queen. You have to kind of Wraith all the way out, but the Venture, because you get that Explorer's Resolve, you get those passive shields, you can stay in the fights longer. We are going to have Odyssey back over on the Sim for the TP. Back over to the Venture, I suspect. Yes, as we are going to have quite a comp swap coming out here for Western. Dr. Tony moving over onto that Mercy. The Mercy pocket onto Blue Ice on this Sojourn has been so dangerous in past matches. Radu over on the Ramatra now as well, taking the high ground. Again, UNB loves to play inside of these spaces, inside the cage once again here as we are on Lighthouse. The point is going to be unlocking soon. We can see that Odyssey has kind of rotated over, going to be able to put some pressure on the point, and so far, nobody from Western looking to put a foot on the point, but you do have that damage boost onto Blue Ice. You take out Monkinch. 75% here and counting UNB, and that's going to be it for Western to try and push on to this point. I like the pressure being put on the point by Western here, while Blue West just kind of hides on the side, and that means that you're going to be able to catch these rotations as they come in from UNB. Odyssey's still alive here, momentarily on the venture. Does have both supports with him as well, and the supports showing up in the kill feed. Dr. Tony taken out here. Whoa! What a move here! Odyssey gonna find that environmental kill on to do. Just have Blue Ice alive, okay, and making his presence very known here. The overclock is ready to go, but yeah, unfortunately for Western, although you get a nice big kill on to some of those members from UNB, aren't able to get the cap on the point. The flip didn't go through all the while. UNB gaining percentage here up to 50%. You have the Deadeye to work with. A lot of balls built up from Western though, and looking to try and take this high ground. Blue Ice has the overclock ready to go. Jester gonna start things out with this rush, and is the response here from Zin Sniper. The zoning all basically just making that rush from Jester useless, as nobody can kind of fight in it. Not gonna find any kills with that Deadeye, but it's all about the time. It's all about the space. Now it's gonna be the turn of Western to go. It's gonna be the Valkyrie trying to push onto the point here. Beloved, though, responding with the Kitsune rush of her own, not allowing Western to come into this point. Oh, Dr. Tony, he gets a little too close to danger there. Icarus flying too close to the sun. And UNB just withstanding this engagement once again. 93%, not looking like anybody from the side of Western going to be able to touch, and that is going to be map point. UNB picking up the second one, winning Ilios 2-0 here. All right, let's update that on the card. Play of the game going over D-Mister. I suspect the grab on well. Ooh, not the grab, just a really charged up Zarya, which is also really terrifying. All right. This is great start here for UNB. This does mean Western going to have the opportunity to select what map we go to. And oh dang, they are very quick. I'm not, we're gonna get this into my nice little graphic, as I don't really think anybody's gonna be surprised by this, because this is also a big favorite of a lot of these teams that have been competing in the tournament. We're going to Flashpoint, and we are going to Suravasa. Now again, both these teams have played Suravasa, so definitely comfortable on it. I feel like Suravasa has kind of become like the Lijiang Tower-esque, King's Row-esque, kind of finding its place in that like most played map of its mode. Atlas and New Junk City definitely deserve some love as well, but Suravasa is my personal favorite as well. And we will have hero bans coming in as well. So Western don't only get to pick what map we are going to, they also get to come out with the first hero ban. And they are going to be opting to take that Zarya off the table. No surprise there. D-Mister looking very, very deadly on that Zarya. UNB does a fantastic job of kind of working around the Zarya bubbles and really optimizing kind of the amount of charge that you get out of those bubbles as well. Now, in response to that, we do have the ban coming in from UNB. Now, not able to ban out a tank, so they had to ban out either a DPS or a support. And UNB have opted to go for a DPS ban. It is going to be the Freya ban that comes in as we head into Suravasa here. So, both those heroes obviously giving both these teams a little bit of trouble. We did see Blue Ice end up swapping over onto that Sojourn on the Lighthouse portion. But regardless, the Freya, very, very dangerous. I think also Suravasa, a lot of these like wide open sightlines. And I don't think that UNB is necessarily known for playing their Tracer either, which can be like some pressure onto that, that Freya. So, some big bans coming through as we head into map number 2. Like I mentioned, Suravasa. Again, this is going to be a first to 3. So, you know, starting out with the first win is pretty good. Building up some momentum here for UNB, but Western University definitely not out of things just yet. Definitely an opportunity to kind of come back from this. Getting to pick Suravasa, your map choice. Now, I do expect that D-Mister is going to move over onto the Diva here. We see mostly the Zarya and the Diva from him. Do potentially the Winston? No, we're going to stick on the Junker Queen. Ooh, we might actually get the Junker Queen mirror here on Suravasa. Something that we definitely don't get to see a whole lot. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. It feels like a lot of the time on these Flashpoint maps where Junker Queen used to, like, reign supreme. We're seeing teams kind of start on the Junker Queen, but fairly quickly kind of swap off of her, depending on what the other team is running. But, hey, if we end up with the Junker Queen mirror, we could just go all the way with the Junker Queen comp. Dr. Tony gonna be over on this Moira as well. Excited to see this Moira Lucio. This does mean that Western has to go pretty quickly. Of course, you're playing, you know, both teams playing this Junker Queen comp. They want to play fairly quick, but if you only have this limited resource on the Moira, you gotta be finding these opening picks. Both teams are going to meet over on the side here. Oh, but it is going to be Zen Sniper finding the first kill here. Nice little amp speed in there from Monk. Making sure UNB can walk forward. Zen Sniper not done yet. Taking out Do as well. The point has unlocked here. UNB going to get themselves set up on the point. Well, double kill for the Lucio as well. You'll love to see it in the kill feed. Point cap going over to UNB to start here. Market going to be building percentage very quickly here. These Flashpoint maps tick up so fast. You really can't afford to get kind of staggered out here if you're Western. It's going to be another rotation around the side here. The Shout looking for a target. Trying to chase Zen Sniper, but the Cassidy just running away, and yo, he's got backup to go with him. No kill's going to come through from that. Cooldowns forced out though, and there we go. Jester is gonna manage to find that kill on to Zen Sniper. Not done yet. Taking out D-Mister. Huge here for Western to find their way back into things. You need to clean this up quickly though. Like I said, that percentage still building here for UNB. And Beloved and Odyssey just taking a little bit long to be displaced here. And they net 74% there for UNB. Nice flip over here, though, for the side of Western. You have this Coalescence from Dr. Tony to work with. First ultimate going to be on the board, but Beloved is going to have this Kitsune Rush ready to go, and Kitsune Rush is probably going to win out over the Coalescence, especially where you have this Venture. Odyssey's going to be able to do so much damage with this Rush. We can see them pathing around the side. She's just waiting to get it. 1 more percent. Beloved's going to be ready to go. And it's kind of a bit of an awkward rotation here from Western. Whoa, the TP out. Beloved gets out just in time. Coalescence has been popped from Dr. Tony, and UNB not able to really play in that Kitsune Rush. Everybody kind of rotated to try and chase Western on this this little flank kind of towards the main area, and that meant that you all walked out of that Kitsune Rush, and UNB not going to be able to retake that. Are going to see Western grabbing the lead here. 80% is kind of this last fight situation on these Flashpoint maps. It looks like UNB do want to try and push to get a touch here. And Western want to try and shut that down before it happens. Overtime has been triggered here. The blade came out from Brandon Azor. Punkage did fall during that. Ult's committed here from UNB. The Rampage connects onto Jester. Almost had that beat ready to go as well. The flip does come through from UNB. Nobody wants to push onto that point with Odyssey holding that tectonic shock, but now that that's gone, we're going to see Western push back onto this point. The DPS really coming alive here. Has the Blossom Blue Ice not going to need to commit it. Just a last point touch here for D-Mister. Overtime is going to diminish. The flip goes the way of Western, and they are going to get themselves the first point in this series, picking up Market. Where are we going next? Temple. Okay, short walk here. Let's take a look. Where are these teams at? Yeah, it is going to be big here for Western to be able to get set up on this point first. Especially you have this Rampage, you have this Blossom. Now, the beat from Monkage could be really massive here, but Jester's going to be able to match that. The Hinder comes through, the Blossom is in. Pair that with an amp speed, pair that with the Junker Queen Shout, and that is going to be a little too much for UNB to deal with here. point is unlocking, and Temple is going to be picked up first here to start by Western. We are going to see Odyssey swap over on to a Reaper of his own. And Zen Sniper over onto the Sojourn here. So the Sojourn could be really big. You're able to kind of build up these railgun shots. Brandon Azor, the Genji, gonna be able to put a little bit of pressure on, but okay, immediate aggression in. Do wants to go fast. The beat comes out from Monkage, but Jester is gonna be able to kind of get that better beat here as UNB are just being shoved into a small corridor. But all through all of that chaos, Zen Sniper finds the head of Brandon Azor. Big opening here for UNB. And the Coalescence comes out, but the Rampage gonna block so much of that healing. Mister able to find 2 kills through it. The flip does come through here for UNB, and now it's just going to be cleanup as Dr. Tony pulling some magic moves here. Monkage trying to chase the Moira down. Better judgment, not going to try to take that fight as Dr. Tony will be able to get out 54% here for the side of Western. No ults to work with just yet. You're building up to this blade, which is going to be pretty big. Monkage did just commit that beat, so you don't have that on the board. Beloved, she wants to get aggressive. Uses his Kitsune Rush. We're going to see UNB push very, very far forward. Whoa, maybe a little bit too forward. You're no longer in the heels of that rush. There we go. D-Mister respecting the space that has been claimed there. Just buying time. The Kitsune Rush doesn't find kills, but it buys the time. Zen Sniper has this overclock ready to go. We can see everybody from UNB kind of just backing up a little bit. The overclock ready to go, but the blade is in. Brandon Azor strikes first, has Jester following up with that speed as well. Nice, clean engagement here for Western. You do end up losing Jester. Lucio will get back into things fairly quickly, though. 88% on the board for UNB. You still have this overclock to try and retake, and you're gonna have this Blossom for the retake as well. By the time that Blossom comes online, I expect we're gonna have the Rampage and the Coalescence. Need to create some space for Zen Sniper to use this overclock. Western is respecting this a lot, though. Not looking to take a fight on the point. Overclock is out. Everybody from Western just splitting. Deflex comes through, manages to save Brandon Azor, but it's not going to help Blue Ice or Jester. The Coalescence from Dr. Tony trying to salvage this fight for the side of Western. He's getting a lot of healing in, and the damage manages to keep Dew alive through all of that. And with the Junker Queen still alive, there's still a hope here for Western to secure the second point, put themselves at a match point. And yes, looks like they have done it. Put the resources into your Junker Queen, and things will just work out. Temple collected. Western really making headway here on Suravasa. And this is big for them. They just have to go over to Ruins for this next point. Ooh, okay. Does look like UNB is very hot on their tails, though. It's not going to be a free point cap by any means. This beat and the Rampage ready to go. This is a huge point for a Rampage. D-Mister looking for it. Only actually connects on to do, though. That speed from Jester going to help get the rest of Western out of the way. Blue Ice has the Blossom. Knows that everybody from the side of UNB is there. The Suzu comes out immediately. You throw that Blossom in. Nice healing coming from Dr. Tony as well. The cleanup from Brandon Azor. You gotta love those dash resets on the Genji. Pairs so nicely with that Blossom. Again, we're gonna see, actually not again, you know, this is the second time that the point has gone the way of Western to start things out here. All right, swap coming through on the side of D-Mister. Over onto this Diva now. You're gonna be able to eat the damage from Dew and from Blue Ice, but none of the healing. Oh, nice beat here from Monkage. Oh, and Odyssey gonna throw in that Blossom as well, making sure Brandon Azor does not get any value from that blade. If you're Western, though, you probably take those, right? You use the blade. Oh, you do commit the beat, too, though. Yeah, maybe a little bit tricky. I mean, 61% on the board. They only need to win a couple of fights. Try and secure Suravasa, but now UNB putting themselves in a position to try and reverse sweep Suravasa and put themselves up in this series 2-0. Coalescence to start things out, forcing everybody from UNB kind of just split up here. Some went towards the point, some over towards the right here. The Diva, a very large target, is going to end up getting demexed there. Dew follows up with the Rampage, connect onto the Pilot, Diva, and Monkage. Gets a nice little kill onto Beloved as well. The quad kill coming through for the Junker Queen, and that is Western back in control of this point. No ults to work with here. Not even gonna get an ult towards the end of this fight. So you need to try and just win this fight out cleanly. You're hiding in a corner to try and make this happen. Big axe. The Suzu is forced out here from Beloved. She does have this Kitsune Rush ready to go, but you just don't have any space to work with. Oh, and with Monkage falling as well. Okay, Odyssey does manage to get the overtime contest here. Sin Sniper still a little bit far behind here. Pops the overclock, but isn't able to make anything happen with it. Deflect on the point. We do get the Kitsune Rush out and the bomb here for D-Mister. It's Odyssey and D-Mister trying to keep this point alive for UNB, trying to stay in this Surabasa. Reinforcements have now arrived in the form of Monkage on this Lucio. And you can see this D.Va is able to block so much of the damage coming in. D-Mister doing a great job keeping his team alive. 97% now for UNB, and there's no touch. No touch comes through for Western. That is going to be the first point on the board here for UNB. Heading over to Palace next. We're going to have to walk all the way across the map to get to this one, which is definitely going to favor Western here. We can see them already rotating towards Palace. It's a long way for UNB to walk. Not only now, but their spawn as well is not going to be as close as the spawn is for Western. Rotating up towards the high ground now. Brandon the Sword taking this opportunity to pull the blade once again. We see this Blossom in response to this blade, and the nice DM there for D-Mister, making sure Odyssey stays alive through that. We don't need the beat for the blade. We're just going to use the Blossom, tear the Genji apart, force out the deflect, and that is UNB getting first cap here on Palace. You have this Blossom to work with on the side of Western. See if you can rotate onto the high ground, force a fight up there, use the Blossom up there. If you try to use the Blossom on the point, especially here on Palace, there's just too much open space, and that fountain in the middle makes it really, really easy to kite out of the way. As we are going to see rotation up to this high ground. Du also has this Rampage ready to go. The Coalescence, there's a lot here for Western to work with. They just need to find an opening. He's going to use his Coalescence, try to create some space here. Everybody pushing in as there is the Rampage. Connects onto D-Mister. Monkage going to respond with that beat. Doesn't connect onto Beloved though, as she is going to end up falling. We get the D-Mech on the D.Va as well. D-Mister uses the bomb. He is going to be able to get the remech as well. The point now being contested by Western here. Still have the beat, still have the Blossom ready to go. Brandon Asor on this. Genji finding that kill. Dr. Tony does end up falling here. The beat maybe needs to be committed here by Western. No, you're just going to have to clean everybody up on that Junker Queen. Trying to find a stagger kill here, but you're not going to get too aggressive if you're Brandon Asor. You really don't want to fall here. 98% on the board for UNB. They'd only need one tiny little fight to pick up Palace and tie us up on Surabasa. They have the overclock to try and make it happen, and they will have the Kitsune Rush very shortly as well. This beat from Jester is going to be massive. You really need to block some of this overclock. Okay, we're going to have the aggressive beat in, but it doesn't catch Brandon, as you are just going to have the kite out here from the side of UNB. Blue Eyes does use that Blossom, finds Odyssey. Overclock, picking apart the members of Western that have split. Okay, Blue Eyes managing to find that kill, but the rest of UNB is still alive and healthy. Triggering miss overtime as UNB does flip the point back over, and UNB is going for the reverse sweep here on Surabasa, picking up Palace 2-2 here. It is going to be Garden, our tiebreaker flashpoint here on Surabasa. Now it is going to be UNB that slightly has this better respawn. Get yourself set up on the point, but the point hasn't unlocked just yet, so there's still an opportunity to take a fight here and get the cap. So we see everybody from Western is pathing through this stairway. Blade ready to go, and there's the Blossom. Oh, Brandisor does manage to pick up Monkage though, avoiding that Genji altogether, and is going to find CEN Sniper as well. Brandon has learned his lesson. You are not going for that Reaper when you pull out that Blade. The defense matrix from D-Mister is good, but it's not going to be enough to find a kill on to the Genji. The bomb comes out. You get the remake here, but you're not going to be able to stop this cap coming through. Western getting the first percentage here on Garden. Nice little knife there, do a little bit of that bleed damage. You do already have the Rampage, so not necessarily building up to anything, but you force UNB to back out a little bit. Rampage and Coalescence ready to go here. Dr. Tony has mostly used this Coalescence to push in aggressively here to support Du as he goes in for the Rampage. Alright, looking to punish this D.Va. Yeah, D.Va should push a little bit too far there. Massive Rampage, but a bigger beat coming in from Monkage. Lot of HP still missing from the side of UNB though, and Brandon Azor on this Genji able to clean up all those low targets. Nice little deflect as well. Team kill coming through here for Western, putting themselves in a great position to find Suravasa and tie this series up. One last fight here for UNB to cap Palace. D-Mister's gonna swap over on to this Wrecking Ball. I think Western heard this. Yeah, they heard the TP come in. Oh, you need to stay alive for the 97%. Oh, you chased out Dr. Tony. This is huge. Odyssey does pay with that for his life. This Wrecking Ball needs to be able to stay alive. The Blossom in from Blue, finding a whole lot of damage, but it's all into that Wrecking Ball. Trying, does manage to find the kill onto Monkage. Now Jester has the beat. Zen Sniper going to pull out this overclock, trying to tear through this beat. Kitsune rush from Beloved to try and make it happen. Damage is coming through, but the kills just are not. Blossom now from Odyssey. Finds two. The Wraith form forced out. Reaper v Reaper here. The Wrecking Ball has made his way back onto the scene as well. You need to stay on this point though with your UNB. Trying to get through this Moira healing is just not happening. The blade to finish things off as Brandon Azor helps Western clean up Garden and put themselves on the board here. We have a series on our hands, tied up 1-1 now, as that is going to be Western picking up their map selection. You love to win your own map pick. That's very close from UNB to try and turn that around. But Western just knew what they were doing. They stuck with it. Made it happen. Good adjustments from them along the way as well. I think especially getting more value from those blades as time went on. A couple of fights in a row there, you use that blade and you're just kind of shut down immediately. So really nice on Garden to see Brandon pull that blade out. And we see the Blossom come out. We see the defense matrix onto Odyssey on that Reaper. But great read from Brandon Azor to just go over onto the other targets. Take out Zen Sniper. And yeah, really set your team up for success there. All right, so this does mean that UNB are going to get to pick where we go for the third map. Neither team at a match point yet, so you still have some room to work with here. Won't be able to take us to Control, won't be able to take us to Flashpoint. So UNB have the option of taking us to Escort, to Hybrid, or to Push. And they have opted to take us to an Escort map, one that I haven't seen, honestly, in a hot minute. But I used to see it a whole lot once upon a time. It is going to be Shambali Monastery. So this one is super interesting, very poke favored, but when it was most popular, it was at the height of Ramatra meta. So definitely an option here to kind of play that Ram. If you're Western, you could... The Junker Queen's a little bit harder here because, again, like I said, a little bit more poke favored. So it means that you're going to have more of these kind of long range kind of angles, which the Junker Queen can just really struggle with when you have that shotgun. You want to get in close for the cleave damage. So you could still play it. You'd have to play your corners very carefully here. I think here, now that the Zarya ban is gone, I suspect that D-Mister is going to move back over to that Zarya. Again, with Zarya, you do want to kind of get close, but the bubbles, I think, are going to be really impactful here as... Okay, it is, of course, going to be UNB since they had the map pick. They also do get the first hero ban. And they are actually going to ban out that Junker Queen, which I think might throw a wrench into Western's plans here. But like I said, Junker Queen's a little tricky on Shambali. but they played it all through Ilios pretty much, and it worked okay, I guess. So I suspect now Western gonna move over to some other type of a brawl composition. Probably the Ramantra. Because you can't really... I know that Do has a really great Winston. Hard to play the Winston on Shambali. Again, same reason it's hard to play the Junker Queen. It's just these really long sight lines. The dive is going to be crazy telegraphed, and everybody's going to be able to just burn down the monkey as you go for an engagement. So, Western, not able to ban out a tank. Have to go for the DPS ban or the support ban. And Western is going to go ahead and ban out the Lucio. Very smart ban here from Western, honestly. They're anticipating that D-Mister is going to move back over onto this Zarya. Like I said, Zarya, you still want to get up close. Most of the time, you're using the Lucio to try and make that happen. So not having the Lucio to go into your Zarya composition, it's going to make things a lot harder. You could potentially, like, try and sub the Juno in. But I don't know. I think you probably could, honestly. I don't know that I've seen a Juno from UNB yet, though. Have to see what these teams are thinking. We are going to have Western on the defense to start here on Shambali. So whatever comp they pick, at least we know that that is what we're expecting to see. Okay, Do is maybe the Zarya? It would surprise me a little bit to kind of see this Zarya pick when you ban out the Lucio. But nope, it looks legit. We have walked out of spawn. Mostly. There's still time to turn around if you wanted to. The Zarya Reaper comp looking like what we're gonna get on the defense. Potentially on the attack as well. It comes down to a question of the supports. Is Dr. Tony gonna play the Mercy here? Yeah. The Mercy Juno here, so you do have that Juno, a little bit of speed here for Do to work with, and then Dr. Tony gonna be pocketing Blue Ice on this Ashe. We have seen this be an absolutely deadly combination from this Western team. On the attack, though, a little bit different of a support line. We are going to have that double flex support in the Kiriko Ana. A little bit more traditional for what we expect to see on a Pope composition. Zin Sniper over on that Sojourn as well. It's Bush trying to get onto this high ground, but so much damage being done. Walking right into that Reaper. Venusaur, yeah, going to manage to pick up Odyssey as well. And that is just going to stall out this first fight here from UNB. Oh, okay, Monkage finding himself a little bit out in the open there. The Autumn managing to find his way back into cover. Nice headshot from Blue Ice, and this is what you gotta be careful for. These headshots plus this damage boost from Dr. Tony is going to tear your team apart if you aren't careful. Oh, and there's one. That's gonna start things out here. Jester does get hit with a sleep dart there from Monkage, but you don't have any form of dive, really. Nobody's gonna be able to follow up from UNB on that sleep dart. Charging up to just a little bit. Really want to be able to try and confirm that kill as Dude gonna manage to get out with a good little chunk of charge, I imagine. 50% there. Payload has been creeping forward very slowly here for UNB, and it's actually at a very awkward spot here. We see Do has to kind of rotate around, put a contest on the point. Bob has been thrown onto the point as well. Monkage managing to take out Brandanosaur while all of this was happening. Not having your Reaper here is going to make things really hard for Do on this Zarya. Sleep Dart on to Blue Ice. You don't quite have anybody to follow up on it, but Odyssey does manage to take out Do, so no tank here for Western. Everybody forced to just back all the way out. Not going to be the chase, though. Well, Odyssey is going to TP up there, has the bubble to help out. Oh, Blue Ice finding another headshot. Zin Sniper taken out of things, and the range, you just don't have anything to try and put a contest on this Ashe and Mercy, as it is going to be the belt coming through. Dr. Tony stopping this payload from getting to that checkpoint. All right, Nano ready to go here. The grab from Do does connect onto 2, and yeah, both supports going to be taken out here. That Nano from D-Mister onto D-Mister isn't going to be enough, but maybe the Blossom Odyssey finds 2 from the side of Western. Trying to find this Mercy as well. Gonna have to chew through that Zarya first, and Wow, you don't even have any of your supports. But UNB had a Blossom. That's all they needed, and they capture this first point here.
Ooh, Western still needs to back up here. UNB looking to push forward a little bit.
It's going to be kind of a long way back from that spawn, that defense spawn now for Western. That's a massive fight win. UNB still has grab. You have the Kitsune Rush. You have the overclock. Brandanosaur does have this Blossom. Looking to maybe get a little flank here. It's just Monkage on the point. Making your presence quite known here. Suzu comes out. An opportunity maybe for the Blossom.
Oh no, because you just got hit with a grab. You just got hit with a Kitsune Rush.
Blue Ice, good for his one, but Western's not going to be able to stay in this fight. Yeah, everybody going to just, well, everybody being, the two supports still left alive, going to be able to find their way back out here. And look how much space is being controlled by UNB now. Zin has this overclock ready to go, but Blue Ice, the Bob, yep, straight out onto point. Sleep Dart, not going to connect because Bob got that bubble. Everybody from UNB is just going to back up now. Forced to kind of play around the corner. Little damage boost onto Do. Nice charge as well. Gotta try and find a kill with this now. The Bob is gone, so UNB are looking to try and find their way back into things. And Mr. falling quite low. Oh yeah, chewing through those shields so quickly.
Somehow still alive through this. There's the bubble over as Brandon's just gonna walk on in.
D-Mister ends up a little self-damage there. Odyssey's still alive and doing damage, but not gonna find the elim. Team kill coming through here for Western, courtesy of that Bubble Blossom combo.
My ultimate is ready.
2 minutes on the clock here for UNB to try and cap out the second point. Now it's just gonna be more time. Burned off the clock here, Blue Ice. Finding that opening pick. This Ash is so scary with the pocket. Has an idea that UNB might be trying to rotate out towards Coast here. Might have the read on it, honestly.
This is gonna be big. Do has the grab ready to go, and all 5 members of UNB are currently pathing over this way.
Suzu forced out as well. Alright, now the split coming through a little bit. Monkage trying to play a little bit further back, wants to try and maybe get that nade. Odyssey, the bubble in. Oh, not able to get the Blossom out in time. Massive grab comes through. Duke connects onto 3 members. The Suzu plus the bubble, though, gonna keep everybody alive through that. The Bob has been committed into the corner. UNB, once again, forced to gotta back around this corner. Nice angle, Blue. Such a great read on where UNB was gonna kite back to. Sleep Dart goes wide here. Would love to maybe get a kill onto Monkage, but Monkage is respecting this pocketed Ash, not peeking his head out. Big next fight here for UNB. You have all of the tools pretty much to work with to try and push this payload a little bit forward. Sleep Dart's still alive.
Okay, taking a nice little fight against the Ash there. Very brave.
Does end up getting hit with that, whoa, the claw, the nano, the blossom. And that should be it. UNB, I mean, Odyssey gets the TP in. That's exactly how you need to play the Reaper composition. The bubble in, the nano, the blossom, just all of the resources really just need to go into the Reaper. And things will work out just fine. Nice hold, though, from the side of Western. A lot of time burned off that clock on the second point of Shambali, and sometimes that's just the best that you can hope for. We do have this orbital strike ready to go from Jester. Having Miana on the side of UND is really big, though, because this anti-nade could essentially shut everything down. No, the anti-nade is going to connect onto UNB, so it doesn't end up getting any nade value. Okay, grab! That is a great response here from D-Mister. Everybody from Western pushing forward, trying to get aggressive with that orbital strike, but the orbital strike doesn't go far enough. The grab's going to lock them down, and you don't have that extra healing, that extra damage. In from Odyssey. Gonna catch the back of Blue Ice, and Sniper gonna help with that a little bit as well. And UNB are just pushed all the way up pretty much to the spawn doors here. 2 on the payload means that if you can hold it at a pretty pretty blistering pace as well. The Valve needs to come out now. Both supports have been hit with that anti from the side of UNB. Oh, and UNB still finding the kills here. Jester taking out Night Res in from Tony. Okay, you find Monkage out with that. So UNB do not currently have any supports alive in this, but they're looking to just clean it up, and the touch, no, doesn't quite come through. Western had the bomb ready to go as well, but you don't get a foot on the point. UNB, two members, the Zarya, Odyssey, and D-Mister pushing that payload into third.
Initiating
22 seconds on the clock for UNB. Overtime, you know, maybe doesn't matter as much with Escort, but it still feels good to finish not in overtime, to finish with a little bit in that time bank to work with. Now, we see what will UNB run on their defense. Probably could just run the exact same thing, honestly. Keep Zen Sniper on this Sojourn. Odyssey on the Reaper. I'm liking the Kiriko Ana. Do seem to be getting pretty good value from it. The anti-nades from Monkage have been great. Ooh, alright. I'm seeing you, Western. Potentially Brandon and Sora on the Pharah. Have seen it before. It is pretty deadly, I think. Especially into the Zarya Reaper composition. Zen Sniper on the Sojourn definitely could put pressure onto Brandon Sora, but when the Sojourn is playing up against a Zarya, you're not going to get that free overclock, like the free railgun charge that you would if you were playing against a Risa or a Ramatra. Zarya is a little bit smaller, a little bit harder to hit. Brandon Sora is going to come out on this Pharah. Yeah, you got to account for Monkage on this Ana, though. Hitting the shots, putting pressure onto Brandon Sora. Contest is going to come onto the card here. I think it's actually Odyssey in the corner. Two doesn't notice! The Suzu has been forced out. The Mercy Pocket is going to be there to keep Zarya alive for the side of Western, and Odyssey's just going to set himself up back in this corner again. What a great little spot to contest from! Especially where you have this Ana and this Kiriko, you're going to be able to get heals onto this Reaper, throw the bubble. I mean, Reaper is playing essentially like an off-tank in this situation, similar to how you would see the Mei kind of put this contest on. Anti-nade come through, but there it is. Brandon Sora finally taking out Monkage. The pressure was being put onto that Ana, and the shots have connected. That's a lot of healing gone for UNB. They're going to be forced to kind of give up their position here. Oh, Beloved, where are you going? Yes, she is going to get the TP out, but no, you TP into the arms of two. Nice little concussive there. Not going to be able to find that confirmed kill onto Zen Sniper, but now this card is moving forward for the side of Western. Wilson Portal is going to be ready to go very soon. And this barrage from Brandon Asor. You can see this damage boost from the Mercy not only allows you to kind of find those instant kills a little bit quicker, but just doing more damage means you'll get more ult charge. It just makes sense.
Kitsune Rush committed first from Jester here. Great timing. Beloved doesn't quite have that online yet. Gonna go ahead, layer on that Valkyrie as well. I mean, you need to find these kills.
DOD, Mr. Very good start here. Odyssey does have a little bit of an angle here. The Wraith form onto the point, and as soon as we see that forced out, Charlie the Reaper dies. Yes, there is an anti-nade that comes through from Monkage, but no point presence when you don't have that Zarya and you don't have your off-tank Reaper either. Oh, yeah, Monkage doesn't have the speed to try and run away from that. You won't need to back up. You need to give a decent amount of space here because that far and pass combo is going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to you from a real far distance. Are going to send some respect to it. Payload being pushed up this hill now. The grab ready to go here from Do. A lot of ults being built up for UNB as well, but so far it looks like Western's just been first in using these ults. Going to be first again. Barrage, grab, combo, very classic. Zen Sniper does find that head of Brandon and Sword, but you got that Mercy. The res is going to come through. Dr. Tony bringing the Pharah back into the fight. Big ult combo used there for Western. You still have Blue Ice with his Deadeye. I suspect maybe the Deadeye in response to the Kitsune Rush that comes out from the Beloved. Jester's not going to be able to match that. You need to have something to kind of answer this rush, although might be able to just kite out of it. Nice little angle though. Beloved needs to stay alive, and Odyssey comboing with that rush. That is also a very good combo. We love to see the Grab Barrage, but we also love to see the Kitsune Rush blossom. Nice little Beyblade happening there. All right, now it is UNB that need to burn time off this clock. You have the high ground here. Second point Shambali, you got this advantage of where the attacking team has to push up this hill. It's gonna be harder for Brandon Asor on this point to also find the value on the Farah because it's much more enclosed space. You're just gonna have to kind of do this poke damage from the outside. You have Dr. Tony to try and help you make that happen.
Grab out. It is gonna be the Kitsune Rush and the Deadeye trying to counter this out. Not gonna be enough though. The damage is there for the side of UNB. Oh, D-Mister getting very aggressive.
Not gonna be able to find the final blows, but you're gonna get some charge up here. The nano committed there from Munkage as well. I think that might have been the difference maker in finding those limbs through the grab. That Deadeye and Kitsune Rush. Dr. Tony not benefiting in extra healing from that Kitsune Rush though, so it really is just Jester trying to keep the team alive through that grab, which one Kiri, that's a really tall order. Overclock ready to go. Munkage has swapped over onto the Wuyong now. I like the Wuyong on this map. A lot of corners, a lot of damage to be done. Valk has been popped. The damage going over onto everybody within range here for Western. Ooh, okay, losing a little bit of HP there, but you're gonna be able to stay alive and healthy. UNB not looking like they're in a great position for a touch here. We do have the Suzu and the Wraithorn come out. Odyssey trying to put the contest on. Zin Sniper, I mean, you have some space to work with here at the bubble and the pocket, keeping Brandon Asor alive through this overclock. Zin Sniper isn't able to find the kills, but UNB is able to, and there we go. Zin Sniper finally going to be able to take Brandon Asor once all those cooldowns are gone from the Farah. 2v2 on the point here, but D-Mister still alive here. The Zarya going to be able to keep UNB in this 3.79 meters. Western, we're so close to capping up that second point. The overclock from Zin Sniper, although he wasn't able to kind of find the kills with it, manages to actually split Western really, really well, and that's when we see the rest of UNB kind of come in and clean up those kills. All the cooldowns kind of forced out as well, so really nice engagement there from UNB. Now though, Rav ready to go here from 2. Look how split UNB is playing. You just have Odyssey and D-Mister on the point. We have the grab come out. Brandon Asor has this barrage, not looking to commit it. Odyssey did use that Blossom though, so the trades have actually gone both ways. 30 seconds on the clock. You get the bubbles out from D-Mister, and now this Farah, no contest in the sky. 20 seconds, but we are going to see the second cap come through from Western here.
I'm with you.
1 minute and 50 seconds is what they had as this payload moves into third point. You still have this barrage ready to go. The Tidal Blast and the Graviton Surge online here soon for UNB. Potentially a nice combo. Those bubbles from Dew could just kind of deny that CC from the Tidal Blast. All right, it's an aggressive Kitsune Rush in. It is going to be the grab and response. Everybody from Western playing inside that Kitsune Rush. You're going to get hit with the grab. Locks everyone in place. D-Mister, nice high charge. Going to find the final blows there. What a great second turn from the side of UNB. This is what you need to do. You see an ult come in, you need to think of a way that you can kind of counter this out. The Kitsune Rush inherently going to create space for Western, so to be able to lock them in place with that Graviton Surge, denying all of that space creation, big play here from UNB, but now you're just holding on to this Tidal Blast. The barrage is ready to go here from Brandon Asor. A little tricky to kind of find your way into an opening here. You're gonna need that bubble to try and keep you alive most likely. All right, Valk. Going to start things out here for Western. The damage coming through. Odyssey, the TP in, trying to get a split, trying to get a pinch in, but immediately gets punished. Tidal Blast going to be committed here, but that barrage, ooh, you die through it. Not quite going to get that res off as Zin Sniper has this overclock ready to go, trying to find the squishies, trying to ignore the beam of 2, who's very charged up. This Zarya, so much damage being done. Blue Ice has now built up to this Deadeye as well. You're going to be able to use the zone out. Forced out. The bubble goes over onto the Deadeye. Odyssey trying to come in close for the kill, but the bubble from 2 gonna keep everybody alive through through it. The grab on the point, nearly a celebration here as we are going to see the third point collected here from the side of Western. We are all tied up going into these overtime rounds. Very, very similar time bank as well. You know, 22 seconds. It might make a difference for some of these like faster to charge ultimates. Thinking the support ultimates, we could probably get the Kitsune Rush online in a minute and 22 seconds, but the thing is, coming into these overtime fights, you're probably not going to see this grab come online until you're actually into overtime here. So you're playing for a lot of these faster ultimates. It's about making the best use of them as they come online. All right, since they have more time, it is going to be UNB starting out on the defense. Thinking about what they want to run out with here. Ooh, potentially Yari here from Munkinge. Have not seen the Yari yet in this series, but I do believe we have seen them play it on circuit. Would fit really nicely in here to Shambali. I think they're anticipating that this pharmacy is still going to come out. I do feel like Munkinge was doing a really great job on the Ana, putting pressure on here, but now it's about confirming kills as Zin Sniper's over on the Ashe as well. Yeah, they're 100% expecting this pharmacy, and so that is exactly what Western are going to be rolling out with. All right, the poke damage versus the poke damage. Odyssey on this Reaper is going to have to really burn through Dew on this Zarya here. Just putting presence onto this payload. Nobody from UNB wanting to stop and contest. That's the thing about running these poke compositions, is that it's not necessarily about putting pressure on the point. It's about trying to find these opening picks before the payload pushes forward. The payload is pushing forward. D-Mister very, very low. He's going to end up getting melted down. Blue Ice with a little help from Dr. Tony with that damage boost. And this is kind of disastrous here for UNB. You need to back up all the way, or you need to find kind of a trade here. Overtime is going to start taking. Will be an opportunity here for UNB to get the recontest. Dr. Tony is making a blistering pace towards this Valk here, and Blue Ice finding the pick onto Odyssey. That almost guarantees the Western's going to be able to find this point. Suzu cleansing out all of that dynamite damage that Zin Sniper found. Valk now out here for Western. Beloved finding a nice headshot onto Blue Ice. The res going to be available from Dr. Tony, though, bringing that Cassidy back into the fight here. Still no solid kills going the way of UNB, and with Brandon finding D-Mister out, the tank once again gone from UNB. You just do not have the staying power in this fight.
Bob gonna be committed onto the point here.
Okay, Zin gonna take out Blue Ice, this time for real. Dr. Tony does not have that res ready to go. Kitsune Rush from Beloved on the point. She's trying to just scare everybody from Western off the point. Going to be able to find that shot onto Brandon and Thor, but not before that barrage does take out the Ashe. D-Mister has come back on the Wrecking Ball. Oh, the res into the Deadeye. I mean, UNB can't stay alive. Odyssey, though, on the Tracer, managing to find that bomb on the head onto Blue Ice. UNB is still in this. Graviton Surge trying to lock things down. Is this going to be what Western needed? Yes, that is going to be it. Western caps second point, and they're going to keep moving this payload forward in overtime now. Cannot leave this point. You need to keep one person on this payload. It's been a bit. UNB have ended up on a bit of an awkward composition as, oh my goodness, are we going to get the Reinhardt? This is actually really, really smart because you have that Sun ready to go here from Munkage. If you can get a big Sun on to the side of Western and then you just have the Reinhardt swing through with the hammer, that's going to be super damaging. You need to do it here, though, because this is so much space being gained. This is a fantastic overtime push for the side of Western. Pin in! Connects on to the Zarya, but Dew does have that bubble ready to go. Zuzu has come out. Here is the Sunrise. No, I don't think it connects. I think it hits one. You're not able to find the limb onto it. Odyssey did manage to find the pulse bomb kill. Dew has taken Dew out. Rez coming through for Dr. Tony, bringing the numbers back into the favor of Western. Oh, and they just cannot be stopped. The team kill coming through from Western. UNB threw everything they had at that fight. Munkage is going to swap over onto the Wuyang here. I mean, you might be playing to just like try and knock Western off the point. You have some of this CC. You're going to be able to put some more of kind of damage presence into this. UNB looking to take a fight here before that second point's capped up. 0.85 meters. That's going to be the contest coming through. D-Mister charging in. The concussion splitting off this Reinhardt. Ooh, that is a beautiful kill here from Odyssey. That barrage was ready to go. Knows it. Dr. Tony is looking for that resurrect, but Blue Ice is going to find out the aggressive Odyssey. The dead eye getting shut down, and that was just enough for UNB to push Western off the point just before that second point is captured. But that is an insane push from Western, honestly. Second point, I mentioned it before, it's all uphill for the attacking team. It's incredibly difficult to push through that on just a regular kind of first push, but to do it in overtime, winning kind of back-to-back fights, this is tough for UNB. This is definitely tough. Reinhardt in the Big 25, you love to see it, and not even on King's Row, right? You know, usually if we're seeing the Reinhardt, it's like honorable King's Row Rein duel. No, we get to see it here on Shambali. Not this time, though. It is going to be both takes moving back over onto the Zarya. Are going to have this pharmacy on the defense here. Not something we necessarily saw on the first defense, but Western liking how it's been working out for them. Gonna go ahead and run it. Blue Ice on the Ashe as well. I mean, this is like as spam damage as you could possibly get and still run a Zarya. I do think that Do might have a little bit of a tricky time building charge, but not if we're gonna come out on the double hit scan for UNB, which I think we're gonna come out on the double hit scan for UNB.
Zen Sniper is over on the soldier, and
I mean, D-Mister just heard my prayers, I guess. We're gonna go Reinhardt on the attack as well. Name of the game for UNB is just sit yourself on this point, force you to take a fight against this Reinhardt, and hopefully you come out on top. But the poke damage from this Pharah and this Ashe are going to be just detrimental to this shield of the Reinhardt. You're just going to end up being a sitting duck on the point. You are pushing the point forward, though, so making some progress here. The pharmacy on a bit of an angle. Mr. kind of just looking at them menacingly, and it's going to be the first kill going the way of Western. Blue Ice looking for more, has a great angle here. That's a problem about not clearing this high ground first, is that you are going to get so many angles taken on you even as that payload rounds the corner. 30 seconds on the clock here. UNB need to pull something together. Looking like a rotation up towards the high ground. The Dynamite does connect onto Blue Ice. This has forced the positioning from Western. First step of the uphill climb complete here for the side of UNB. Second step, find that kill onto Brandon Azor. Now, Dr. Tony, is he going to go for the rest? No, because we see UNB just finding their way forward. Little pin in, trying to find something. Overtime now, as this is going to have to be a mammoth overtime push for the side of UNB. Keep your feet on this payload. Try and build up to this Bob. Both Ashes very, very close to these Bobs. Contest from Do, dropping down onto the point. This is the problem, Zarya v Reinhardt. Whoa, you come out on top, but the Bob has come out for the side of... Actually, both Bobs have come out. It's a Bob fight on the point. Payload has been captured here, but you don't get any time for this. You are still in overtime. Odyssey slowly burning to death here, trying not to peek his head against Blue Ice. No, he's too late. Blue Ice finds you, and now it's just a soldier on point. Blue Ice gonna find that one too. Shutting things down. Western finding the win on Shambali. Oh my goodness. What a freaking close map. Really, really good stuff. Western earned that one 100%. Beautiful push coming through. Getting themselves 4 points? Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to add everything together here. I guess 5, that's right. All right. Trying to correct my map scene here. Now, we are going to take a 5-minute bio to allow these teams to get a little reset. Hopefully they get some water and stuff as well. So in the meantime, let's take a little bit of a dive into how these teams have done so far. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Oh, it's a raid. Hello, thank you. Welcome in, everybody. We are just on a quick little break here. Currently, Western University are leading 2-1 against University of New Brunswick. And this series has been so close. Ilios, maybe not as close. It was a 2-0 in the favor of University of New Brunswick, but they have also played that map 5 times now, and they've gone 4-1 playing Ilios. So definitely a good map for UNB to start on. Suravasa, very close. We had the 2-3 going the way of Western, tying us up. And then Shambali going into those overtime rounds. Oh my goodness. 5-4 going the way of Western, putting themselves at a match point here in the Division 2 Grand Finals of the Canadian Esports Nationals. Now, while these players are on their little bio break, getting some water, getting themselves all sorted out, I wanted to pull up the brackets here. So a little information about these two teams. I'm not going to be able to actually put the bracket on my stream, I fear. Sorry, don't have that set up, but you can just listen to me yap about it. So we had the University of New Brunswick coming in from Group D. So in Group D, they played against University of Saskatchewan, did not find a win there, 3-1 in favor of Saskatchewan, who did go on to play in that, I believe it was the Division 1 Grand Finals. Then University of New Brunswick taking the 3-0 over Concordia, which is actually very interesting because Concordia is the one team that both of these teams have actually played. So University of New Brunswick taking that 3-0 pretty decisively over Concordia. But for Western, they went all the way. They went the distance, 3-2. And if you're interested in seeing that Western versus Concordia, I do have the VOD on my Twitch and on my YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and check how that went, that is available. And then University of New Brunswick falling 3-1 against the Université de Montréal. Which again, I do have that on stream if you so desire to see it. Then we had, like I said, we had Western coming in from that Division C, so the higher division compared to D, in case anybody was wondering. And I mentioned this earlier on in my stream, but Western actually had quite a few kind of matches that didn't happen. So their first match in the tournament was actually a bye. So Western just moved on. And then Western played against the University of British Columbia, falling 0-3. So that was the first match that they played. The next match, it was Western University versus Brock University. And unfortunately, Western didn't have the numbers, so they had to FF that. So in the regular kind of first 3 rounds, only one match being played here for Western. And then as we headed into the playoffs, we had both of these teams actually starting in that second round. So Concordia versus Victoria was the round 1. And of course, this is the single elimination as well. So both of these teams have won all the way through these playoffs. And it was Western taking victory over Fanshawe, which again was an FF. So Western didn't get to play that first playoff match either. Then they take the 3-2 over Concordia to end up here. University of New Brunswick beating out the University of Ottawa and then the University of Guelph to end up here in this grand finals. And in case anybody is wondering, the third place match here in Division 2 will be between Concordia University and the University of Guelph. Make sure to check out the Discord to find out when that is going to be happening, or if maybe that is happening right now. I'm not too sure, but that third place, I'm sure, going to be a very, very good match as well. But coming back over to our match, Western winning out Shambali does mean that UNB are going to have their choice of a map here. Not going to be able to go to any of the map types that we've already played. So we're not going to go to a control, we're not going to go to a flashpoint or an escort, which only leaves hybrid and push on the table here. Could go kind of either way, honestly. Hybrid is going to definitely play more similarly to the way that Shambali played on this escort map. So you maybe don't want to send yourselves to that kind of situation if you're New Brunswick right now. You really, really need a win. This is your your last chance here because Western at a match point, you got to win your next pick. So probably going to go over to a push map. It's going to play more similarly to at least, you know, Control and Flashpoint, which UNB didn't win Flashpoint, but they did win Control pretty decisively. All right, taking a look, we do have our map selection in, and it is going to be the push map that UNB are opting to take us to. We're going to be heading over to Runasapi. And we already are pulling out the ban here. It's going to be the Mercy ban. UNB looking to shut down Dr. Tony on that Mercy. But not just Dr. Tony. Also Blue Ice and Brandon both doing an incredible amount of damage. And just having that damage boost, hitting those headshots, very dangerous. Especially as, although Brunasapi, the push map, is not going to play tempo-wise the same as Escort, sightline-wise and compositionally, you could still run that Ashe. You could maybe run the Pharah, maybe not. There's not necessarily as many places for your Pharah to kind of hide on Runasapi, but the Ashe, very much still on the table here. So I think taking out that Mercy, gonna give yourself a little bit of breathing room when it comes to getting hit with some damage. You're not gonna just get exploded immediately. Western thinking about how they're going to respond to this. You've already banned out the Zarya. You have already banned out the Lucio. Probably anticipating that UNB want to run this Zarya Reaper composition. So now you need to think about what are the other major components that allow this Zarya Reaper composition to be so impactful. I think the Reaper's already been banned out as well, actually. So, yeah, it has. You can't ban the Zarya, you can't ban the Reaper, you can't ban the Lucio. No, they're gonna ban out the Reinhardt! No! Alright, well, Western... yeah, okay, Western's gonna ban out the Reinhardt, I guess. I guess. I don't expect that we're gonna see Reinhardt again on Runasapi, but I don't know. I guess it's possible. It is possible. So, goodbye, Reinhardt. It is nice to see you for a little while on Shambali. Unfortunately, back in to the ban with you. So sad. Well, I mean, I think that this pretty much sets the stage for another Zarya, Reaper, Lucio, Kiriko, Sojourn, maybe Freya? Maybe Blue Ice goes Freya? Brandon Nesor's probably going to go back over onto the Genji. We did see him play some Reaper, but I do feel like Western has looked pretty good with Brandon Nesor on the Genji. The Blades definitely getting more and more value as the series has kind of gone on. But I'll have to see. Interesting to note also that neither of these teams have really been playing much Tracer, which I think is kind of surprising a little bit. Even though she did get a little bit of a nerf kind of in that mid-season patch, Tracer's bullets are going to be a little bit smaller now, a little bit harder to hit. She's still in a really good place, and she can still be super dangerous. We just saw Odyssey kind of swapping over to the Tracer essentially just for the recontest. All right, let's head into Runasapi. Potentially our last map in this series. Western is setting themselves up for a 3-1. We'll have to see if we are going to end up back on those familiar compositions. Kohai, just as sad as I am to see the Reinhardt ban come out on Runasapi. I know. There was a small hope. Maybe map 5. Map 5 is, if we do go to that map 5, it is going to be the hybrid map type. So you never know. King's Row could be on our horizon. UNB just need to win. Runasapi, take us to that last map. We do have Dr. Tony over on the Moira here. Similar shades of what we saw from Western on Suravasa. Doors have opened. Essentially mirror compositions. It's just this Moira versus the Kiriko here. All right. Both teams going to be pathing towards this mega health pack. Actually, it is going to be UNB kind of taking control of this. Nice to have that health pack if you so need it. Going to give you a little bit of cover here as Western are essentially kind of out in the open right now. Zin, Sniper looking for some damage. Ooh, okay, we have an aggressive push out here from UNB, and yeah, that's the split that's come through from Western. UNB making some space, allowing this Cassidy to really thrive, but there is a Cassidy on the side of Western as well. Blue Ice will not be forgotten. Finding 2 kills there. D-Mister has fallen here for UNB. That means that Western's going to be able to at least get bot moving a little bit. Nice little double tap onto the Kiriko. Beloved not going to be able to get out alive. Odyssey is still kind of lurking here on the Reaper, but UNB is going to allow a little bit of this progress to happen. Don't want to lose any more members here. We need to get a nice clean contest. It's going to be the contest coming through just before the bot rounds that corner. Bubble and Wraith have been forced out as we are going to have Western getting a little bit of a split here. Not going to be finding any kills just yet. Both teams kind of poking. Getting into this brawl phase. D-Mister has no bubbles to work with. It's going to be the Deadeye here. Zen Sniper trying to find something. Whoa, wow, the damage onto Dr. Tony, but somehow the Moira lives through it, and now it's going to be the Deadeye coming through from Blue Ice. Going to find the kill onto Odyssey, pick up that one onto Monkage as well, and bot progress continuing here for the side of Western, setting themselves at an early lead. Picking up that checkpoint, forward spawns now activated. Coalescence and Blossom ready to go here for the side of Western. Gonna have that grab online quickly for Ju as well. D-Mister is not catching up to that grab. We have the rush. Rush plus Blossom in. Blossom from both sides, in fact, as the trades actually go through both sides. Still even in numbers here. The Coalescence has been committed from Dr. Tony. Trying to keep the Western team in this, but the damage has been done. 100 charge. Zarya going to melt through the squishy members that are still alive on the side of Western. And now UNB have stabilized a little bit. Getting control of the spot, trying to push it back towards their side of the map, but everybody from Western got those forward spawns. Just now the forward spawn has been taken away from Western. This grab ready to go here. One bubble out. It is going to be the grab committed from D-Mister first, but oh, you're very, very low. You're not going to be able to get in that effective range. We see Odyssey kind of TP in, but it's not going to be enough to get the damage. There's the grab in response to finding numbers here. Jester using that beat as well just to make sure that everybody from Western stays nice and healthy. The kills coming through. Blue Ice finding them. Trying to find a stagger kill. Ooh, okay, gonna respect Zen Sniper on that Cassidy. Fortunately, though, for UNB, not able to win that kind of second fight, as that's gonna be the forward spawn once again being picked up on the side of Western. Moving this payload, extending their lead even further. Deadeye ready to go from both sides. Beloved, she's opened the fight up with 1-2 kills. The Kiriko letting UNB walk into this. You're not even gonna have to commit any ultimates. Gonna do a good little chunk of damage onto the Zarya as well. The kill's not gonna be late enough to get that long spawn though. Ooh, I say that. Monkage though, finding a late kill onto Dr. Tony. Halo, the bot is moved forward, going to extend past that that middle point, which means it is going to shut down that forward spawn for the side of Western. A little bit of a longer walk here from Tony. Jester has gone back to get that taxi though, so it's going to be another fight at the corner here. Coalescence and a Deadeye ready to go on the side of the Western. They're going to pull out both of them right away. Odyssey using the Wraith form. We have the speed onto the Cassidy. Blue Ice trying to find something, not quite going to find it. Has forced everybody from UNB kind of back towards their side of the map. The Deadeye now ready to go here from Zen Sniper. Gonna pull it out. Gonna pair that with the Kitsune Rush. Yeah, gonna throw in the Blossom as well. Jester gets caught out by that Deadeye. And it doesn't look like Zen Sniper's done just yet. Gonna find a Cassidy as well. And this is big for UNB. They finally get kind of 2 fights in a row. Gonna get a good little bit of progress on this bot now. You still hold on to the grab as well. Could be pretty big. Jester doesn't have the beat. Brandon does have the Blossom, which like maybe you could use, but you'd rather not have to try and use that to counter out the grab. Ooh, aggressive push in here from Western. UNB just gonna give the space, looking for an opportunity to kind of use the grab. Whoa, and he sees it. Grab out, connects onto 4. It is gonna be the Blossom though. Doesn't find any damage, and Zen Sniper, fish in a barrel, does end up falling. Blue Ice, not going down without a fight there. The team kill does come through for UNB though. And this is gonna be UNB at least picking up this checkpoint. They'll start their own forward spawns here. Not gonna help Zen Sniper. Ooh, the contest comes through actually just before that forward spawn I think was collected. Yeah, nice job for Western. Really good read on where the payload was, or where the bot was gonna be. You have this grab ready to go for 2. Blue Ice nearly at the Deadeye. Both portals coming online as well. Munkage does have this beat. That could be really big for this grab. Great form has been forced out. Odyssey's still staying in the fight though. Making it work. Finds 2 kills somehow. Still alive. The Suzu from Beloved. Gonna be able to keep the Reaper aggression going. UNB have come back into this. A 4K on the board for Odyssey. Team kill coming through. Now UNB is gonna be able to get that checkpoint and those forward spawns. Not quite gonna be able to get the lead just yet. It's gonna need a little bit of time for this this checkpoint to kind of capture. Still have this grab ready to go from 2. There it is. Oh, Munkage! Oh, the Ajax! Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try to bring this back though. UNB. Using the Blossom. Trades coming through. The numbers favoring UNB still. Just the Moira on the point. Dr. Tony trying to run away. Odyssey chasing hot on the heels of the Moira. Gonna be able to clean up that kill. UNB pushing ever closer to that golden line. You can see they're trying to stay in it long enough, but no, it's gonna be an aggressive beat in. Jester, he connects on to Do and himself. Not gonna allow UNB to take the lead. Brandon Asor gonna be able to find that kill onto Odyssey as well. The numbers really weren't there for UNB. It was really optimistic to be able to think that they were gonna be able to push that bot a little bit faster. So close to taking the lead, but Western back in this. You have the Deadeye ready to go. D-Mister does have this grab though. Zen Sniper with the Deadeye as well. Beloved, she's gonna start things out with the Kitsune Rush. The Deadeye in response. Holding, trying to find something. A Suzu just in time. Beloved keeping herself alive as it is gonna be Zen Sniper throwing in Deadeye of his own. This DPS from UNB just doing absolute damage. Finding the kills there. Walking this payload forward. The forward spawn for UNB actually wasn't lost there.
The lead is almost ours.
Trying to push forward to this lead. Brandon Asor has the Blossom ready to go. Trying to force out the Suzu. Oh, you do not mess with Beloved like that. She takes out the head of the Reaper. The only ultimate in the bank here for Western. Now gone back to the spawn, but Blue Ice does manage to take out Odyssey. No Reaper for either side. And D-Mister is very, very low. The Suzu gonna keep Zarya alive at least for now. But the tempo was in the favor of Western. Zen Sniper, though, taking Jester out of the fight here. No speed now for Western to try and stay in this, and Zen Sniper is not done yet. The Cassidy gonna fight his counterpart. UNB so patient, playing safe, just cleaning up these kills, trying to get the lead here. The Coalescence has come out from Dr. Tony. Not necessarily finding all of the value, but there's the grab in. Manages to connect onto D-Mister. The solo grab couldn't do enough maybe for Western to hold on here. Is still trades coming out for both sides. UNB do not have their tank though. Munkage trying to keep the team in this fight. Has the beat. Doesn't want to commit it though. Trying to just back out. Beloved and Munkage kind of running for their lives now. Might actually be a stagger kill that's coming through here. No, the supports for UNB managed to somehow get out of that alive. Deadeye ready to go here for Blue Ice. We have the Blossom as well. Forward spawn has been removed from UNB finally here. Monkage playing back quite far here, looking to use this B kind of in the engagement that comes through as we're sub 30 seconds now. The grab connects on to 2, 2, 3. Oh, we see once again Brandon trying to use that Blossom as a response to the Graviton Surge, but it's not enough. 10 seconds on the clock now. UNB trying to push forward. The support's just having a little duel over on the side here. Nobody gonna end up falling for it. But pushing forward, the lead has been gained here for New Brunswick. We do have the beat out for Western and the Deadeye. Kitsune Rush was committed from Beloved there, but what a disengage from... No, what are they? No, Western! 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 Western, you are not in the lead! No! Oh, I don't think that they knew that they didn't realize the lead was lost. They just let the bot sit there. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Little bit of a fumble. Little bit of a fumble. It's okay. We recover. It's all for show, right? Western just did that to bring us to a map 5, I suspect. That's all that was happening here. We're going to map 5. Go to map 5. UNB just narrowly getting the lead there, and Western didn't clock it. That's you get into these overtime fights, and I mean, it's just so chaotic. There's so much back and forth. It's just, sometimes you lose track of these things. I guess you could say that was a C9. I feel like you could say it. You were in the yeah, that's okay. Really fun. Okay. Map number 5. Surprise, surprise. Does anybody want to guess where we're going? What? Oh, hybrid map is the map type that we have to go to. That's the only one that's left. So, where else would we go but Kings Row? Of course. We will be heading over to Kings Row for map number 5, our deciding map here. Bans. I don't even know. I have no idea where you even start. It's, you've used so many impactful bans for both teams. By the time you get into this 5th map, I mean, both teams have been running essentially the same composition this entire time. You know, the bans come out and you do like slight adjustments. But essentially, it's been these like kind of rush comps each time. So, I suspect here on Kings Row that we're gonna see more rush comps. I don't know, but just makes the most sense. So, teams, giving a little thought here about what bans are going to be coming through for Kings Row. I mean, like, maybe a Sojourn ban? It's so hard because it's like both teams are running almost the same comps. Maybe the Soj ban comes in. Maybe now see, UNB could ban the Reaper, but I mean, Odyssey's been killing it on the Reaper, so like, why would you want to ban that out? You wouldn't. Kings Row, the selection of Western, of course, since they did not win Runasapi. And they get the first ban. So, they have at least decided what the ban's going to be. They are going to go ahead and take Diva out of the mix here. I think it's a smart ban. I do. I mean, D-Mister has been playing a whole lot of that Zarya, but definitely seems to be favoring the Diva if you're not kind of on that Zarya. So, if you think that you can try and force D-Mister off of that Zarya composition, maybe with the comp that Western plays, at least he's not going to have the opportunity to go over onto that kind of like second strongest hero. Now, UNB are going to have to pick between a DPS or a support to ban. I don't know, you could ban the Moira, honestly. I don't know if Western play the Moira for sure here, but like, playing a rush composition definitely could pull that out. We've seen Dr. Tony play it a handful of times now in this series alone. But no, it is going to be the Ashe ban. Blue Ice, just a little bit too scary. I think that's pretty smart, honestly, because you took out the Mercy ban last time because you thought that the DPS was being a little bit too impactful with that Mercy pocket. So pulling out the Ashe ban now, it's like, okay, sure, you can put Dr. Tony back on the Mercy. But you're not going to be able to pocket that Ashe, which was so detrimental in Shambali. All right. Well, we have bans in for both teams. We're just getting the R's from both teams. We are heading into map 5. If you are just joining us, this is the Canadian Esports Nationals Division 2 Grand Finals. We have Western University up against the University of New Brunswick. Better update that score as well. We are all tied up here 2-2. As last map, potentially last map, we all know that hybrid can result in a draw. Not saying it's gonna happen, just saying it could happen. But map number 5, Kings Row, has been selected by Western University. So, no Diva, no Ashe on the table. Expecting Zarya comps from both teams. Maybe Western pull out the Pharah here? I don't know. I'm thinking you could maybe do it on the first point attack. But regardless, Western's not going to be on the attack first. We are going to have Western over on the defense first to start out Kings Row. What will we see from them? Map number 5. If you have any secrets up your sleeve, now is the time to play them. Although you've already shown us Moira, you've already shown us Mercy. I don't know what you could surprise. I don't know. What could you do to surprise me? Mercy Juno? Mercy Juno? Aha, okay. I like this. You don't have the Ashe. You still play the Mercy. You play the Freya. No Vendetta. Nobody's allowed to pick Vendetta. Has not been disabled, but surely both teams. Gentlemen's agreement. All right, the defense here gonna stick for Western. Jester over on this Juno. Still got this Zarya Reaper to work with. Blue Ice over on the Freya to replace that Ashe that has been banned out. Now for the side of UNB. D-Mister showing us the Ramatra. Have not seen a whole lot of this hero from D-Mister throughout this tournament, but definitely has been played a little bit here, and it's a great pick into the Zarya comp. Oh, the rush just so strong here. Having this Lucio versus having that Juno, you have this consistent speed for everybody, no matter kind of what angle you're standing on. But Blue Ice kind of just living for free. Okay, I say that, dying immediately. Up on the high ground, will end up getting res. Beloved, she is out for blood. Is going to be able to find that kill on the Mercy. Monkish getting in the kill feed as well. Now there is going to be a contest coming briefly from Do on that Zarya, but it's not going to last long against that Nemesis form from D-Mister. Just a beautiful speed in for UNB, and they're able to cap first point. I think that was 5 minutes and 45 seconds on the time bank for UNB to start pushing this payload forward. We are going to have a swap on the side of Western. Going to move off of that Zarya over onto the Orisa. You essentially have to do it when you're up against this Ramatra. If you can't mirror the Ramatra, you have to swap to a kind of a more beefy tank. Playing these front-to-back compositions, you're just going to get absolutely melted as Zarya. Ooh, and you get some nice spear in. That's the go button. It needs to be a little bit more here for Western if they want to take control of this payload and force UNB back through this. Choke points in. Gonna get hit with that take aim. Blue Ice already broke up to this Bola as well. I mean, the pocket, the damage, it's so insane for the side of Western. And this is a fantastic stabilization here from Western. I think the compositional swap was all they really needed. Jester has moved over onto the Kiriko as well off of that Juno. When you're up against this Lucio, the Juno's essentially just going to get run down. So having this Kiriko, you're going to be able to get that kind of run away. You can climb up walls, you can TP away, you have the Suzu. Really good here. Bola out. pulls into the Suzu though from Beloved. Gonna keep everybody from UMB alive, at least for now. Munkage somehow finding Brandon Asor through that, but the res is gonna be there from Tony. Kitsune Rush ready to go. Beloved is going to just let it go. Zincypher has swapped over onto the Sojourn here off of that Soldier. TP in. Odyssey just catching up Brandon. He's not quite able to do that teleport out. Blue Ice, good for his one. Going to find Munkage there. Lucio for the side of UNB is going to be able to get back into things fairly quickly here. As now some progress being made on this payload here. UNB have cleared that first choke point. Going to be able to round to that second corner. Probably get the third corner of streets as well. There we go. Up onto the high ground here. Blossom ready to go here from Odyssey. But now there's a Kitsune Rush on the side of Western. Have that advantage. We've seen Western often layer this Kitsune Rush and the Valkyrie. Potentially see this happen here. The Valkyrie going to be in first. It's the TP in from Odyssey. Has that bubble to keep him alive. Great form out. There is going to be the Kitsune Rush. Odyssey getting shut down. The bola right in the face. That will do enough damage to take out that Reaper, and expensive ult economy here for the side of Western, but they do manage to stabilize, and crucially, you're going to be able to push back up and take control of this archway once again. You really want to kind of take control of this choke point, especially you have the Freya, you have the Orisa, and even the Kiriko. You have so much spam damage. You really want to be able to just find these choke points, but okay, I'm not going to hold it too heavy here. Might be aware that D-Mister does have this grab ready to go. Don't want to just catch the Orisa. The Orisa's going to be able to just walk out of it. There's the Suzu. Terra Surge committed here for Do. Forces out UNB, but it's an immediate re-engage here. Has that grab, connects onto 2. With 2 out of the fight now, I mean, this is just moments until Western's unfortunately going to be falling. Yeah, and that is probably going to be the last fight that Western's going to get on that second point. Yeah, look out for it. UNB is just pushing up all the way. Can't quite get up there. D-Mister trying to do some parkour here. It's not quite working. We do have Brandon Asor kind of up here. Has the Mercy Pocket, so isn't afraid to kind of take on Odyssey, who's teleported up there. Yeah, respect being shown. Odyssey does not want to take on the damage boosted Reaper. Very wise. We do have the Blossom ready to go here. Brandon Asor trying to find a sneak in, but the Reaper, he's pretty loud. Zin's going to be aware of where that Reaper's at. The Blossom, not going to be a surprise. Kitsune Rush in. Gonna pair that with this overclock from Zin Sniper. Brandon, pulls the Blossom, immediately gets shut down. Thought that he could catch UNB as they were in that split. Not quite gonna work out how he was hoping. 4 HP, yeah, that's gonna be the Reaper getting kind of melted down here. Western trying to find some stabilization. You take Odyssey out of the picture, that's a lot of damage now gone, but look how far this progress. Oh my gosh, the payload is so close to the end here. Nice little take aim from Blue Ice. Beat from Munkage, only connects onto himself and the support. Beloved. There we go. The stabilization that Western needed coming in the form of this Kitsune Rush from Jester. Having the beat committed there, pretty big for Western as well. Odyssey is going to have this Blossom for the next fight. You have the Valk. I think Valk gonna be pretty helpful on this third point. Especially playing up kind of around these corners. If Dew can build up some charge, having that damage boosted Mercy is going to be really, really impactful for winning those head-on fights. A little bit of poke happening here, building up some charge. I mean, Dew definitely has a lot to work with now. We've had the Wraith form forced out from Odyssey. Trying to find the kill, but the healing is there. Yeah, and we are getting aggressive because D-Mister has this grab almost ready to go. There's the grab out first, though, from the side of Dew. Connects onto 3. Brandon Asor gonna find the double kill there. Not quite done yet. The Valk was committed as well, but another clean fight win here for the side of Western. You're gonna have both those DPS ults to work with in this next fight. Grab still ready here for D-Mister. Potentially comboing it with the Blossom. Honestly, I think that the payload is so far forward, you really just need like one team kill and you should be able to push this payload in. There's the grab! Oh my gosh, immediately shut down though, too! Not allowing the Blossom to come through, but we have a mid-fight Kitsune Rush. Beloved is going to be able to get a whole lot of damage here for her team. Gets the TP out as well. There's 2 on the point. The Disruptor Field onto the payload to make sure that if you touch, you die! Oh, what a play from Zin. We see the swap over onto the ball, but you can't get there fast enough. 1:08 on the clock.
0.
UNB managed to finish King's Row.
Switching sides.
With time. With time. Not in overtime. This is good. This is good for UNB.
Initiating match.
Probably not going to be a draw. Right? All right. UNB, what will they do on the attack? I have quite liked this Ramatra composition that's come out from them. I think that they're playing it really, really well. You need to play it fast. You need to play it kind of scrappy. If Dew does stick on this Orisa, you'll have to play it a little bit safer because you're not going to be able to win the front to back as easily with all that spam damage. But, ooh, Odyssey on the Mei here for defense. Big. But look at what is being teased by Western. This pharmacy composition, I mentioned we might be able to see it on first point. I mean, you can try and make it work like second point as well. It's maybe a little bit harder. But this would be massive if you could play the pharmacy with the Zarya as well. I mentioned this earlier. When you have a Sojourn going up into the Zarya, it's a little bit harder to build up your railguns between the bubbles and just having like a smaller frame. It's hard to use the tank as your battery. And that railgun is what's going to really make the difference in kind of taking this pharmacy out of the sky. Oh my. UNB hiding, trying to find a wall. Bubble has been forced out. Western in an awkward split here, but yeah, the wall gets taken down. You don't quite find the split, the clean split that you're looking for. This is a lot of space being controlled by Western right now. Nemesis form comes out, forces out the Wraith. Maywall not quite catching anybody out. Oh, we're just playing necessary. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie here with this statue. We do have Zen Sniper falling, and their blue ice gonna find Odyssey as well. The DPS just obliterated from UNB. And the tank and support is going to be quick to follow as well. The pharmacy comp really working here for Western. And that's going to be the swap out to the double hit scan. Odyssey over onto the Cassidy's and Sniper over onto the Soldier. Now, I think, yeah, everybody from UNB got this forward spawn here. This is big for them. Going to be able to put a contest on this payload a little bit quicker than what Western had on their defense. But, I mean, Brandon almost has this barrage ready to go. Double hit scan. Might be a little hard to find the value. And the shield also from G-Mister is going to be able to block some of it, but who knows? You might be able to find something through it. Oh, yeah, there's just so much pressure. You need to shut down and put pressure on this Pharah, and that is exactly what UNB is looking to do. The barrage ready to go. Nearly have the Blossom as well as the Grab. Kitsune Rush is being led here by Beloved, though. UNB can kind of leverage that to try and build up some of their other ultimates because you just didn't want to blocks on your DPS lineup. We're really far behind in the ult economy. There's the Kitsune Rush in. Grab in response. Barrage! Gonna clean up that grab. We popped the Blossom and the Valk as well. But you get it done. A lot of time, too. More than 4 minutes here, and I don't think that UNB get a touch. No, they probably will. And they have the Annihilation to work with as well. Jester, nice. Early Kitsune Rush here, trying to hold UNB at the corner, and you absolutely melt the Ramandra. Yeah, no, you don't even get in for the touch anyways. Wow, you force out that Nemesis form. D-Minister still not looking like he's gonna live. No, he doesn't. Oh, what a fantastically timed rush from Jester. Stopping any chance UNB had at a touch, and now 5 minutes in the time bank on third. Oh my gosh, Western is lightning fast pace here. All right, you have the Deadeye, you have the Annihilation in the beat here. You need to be careful if you're doing it. You need to keep this ult economy healthy because right now you are really, really leading in it. You need to be thinking about the next fight and the next one because there's so much time in the bank now that this is about, you know, winning multiple back-to-back fights here. We have the Deadeye being held here. Odyssey walking forward, forcing everybody from Western back. Not going to find any firm kills, though. And unfortunately, D-Mister was so low that you're not even able to capitalize on kind of those out-of-position targets. And now you have walked a little bit too far forward if you're Odyssey. This could be the Annihilation committed here. But the barrage shutting down that Ram. We have the beat coming in. Monkage going going to be able to keep himself and Zin Sniper at least helped up for now. But the beat fades. The the barrage, not gonna be needed. Don't have it. But we have damage boost, and it's so deadly. Punkage slipping off the edge there. We do have the Valve coming in here. It's desperation for UNB. Mr. swaps over onto the Winston to try and touch the Kitsune Rush on the point as well. But you just can't slow down this freight train that is Western. Oh my goodness.
3.
That's a whole lot of time to work with.
Switching
I mean,
sides.
oh yeah, you gain a second. You gain a second if you're Western. You go through all of King's Row and you have the time bank you started with plus a second. Wow. That's crazy. This is gonna be so hard for UNB. Oh, okay. They are on the attack here. Oh. I fear we might have
Ready
a small
for battle.
issue of Venture being incorrectly banned. Ooh, okay. We're gonna have a little pause here. I'm assuming that you can, I don't actually know if they can update it right now. Ooh, this is tricky. I don't know how they're gonna fix this. So, here's the thing. When you want to change out heroes that are banned, you have to update the lobby. And if you update the lobby, you're gonna lose the time that you had for both teams. This is gonna be fascinating. Okay, I think that I'm just gonna throw it back to my camera for a little bit while these teams get this sorted out. Because unfortunately, they're in a pretty awkward position here of, I don't know. Yeah, they're suggesting to maybe like, just run the map again until you get the same times, but it's gonna be so hard to try and get the exact same time in overtime. Looks like both teams are agreeing to just run with it. No venture in. Alright. Well, we are gonna head back in then. The venture got banned out instead of the vendetta. Very unfortunate. Western making a massive comeback from losing first point defense. That's so true. Western definitely selected King's Row for a reason. They knew what they were coming. Sound very up. Yeah. Auto mod doing auto mod things. Sorry about that.
3, 2.
All right. So,
UNB, smaller time bank, does mean they're going to be on the attack first. D-Mister is going to be over on the
Winston here instead of that Zarya. Looking to take control of the high ground behind the point. Try and just not take these front to back fights if they haven't really been winning. Oh, taking control of the high ground. Rotating towards. Got his eye on this pharmacy. Nice pinch coming through, actually. This is really great positioning from UNB. Okay, force out the Suzu, and you force out the positioning from the Reaper as well. Blue Eyes kind of stuck into a corner. And that's going to be pretty much first point gone. Fantastic play here from UNB. Now the res is going to come through onto Do somehow. Wow, how did that happen? Oh my goodness, Do is back in this. 2 ticks on the board here for UNB, but the recontest trying to come through from Western. Nemesis form is on the point. Pharmacy alive and well. Oh, and that's going to be taking out Zin Sniper. Not done yet. Jester does end up falling, but Brandanosaur is just ripping apart UNB. 2 seconds on the clock. The overtime going to start ticking here now, and that is all that UNB are going to be able to get. 2 ticks on the board. D-Mister not quite going to get there for the overtime. Oh, all right. I mean, you got some percentage if you're UNB, but you really, really would have loved to be able to capture that. Really good contest there from Western. Stopping that from coming through.
Match.
All right. Nice little 4-minute hold here for UNB to try and find the win. Ooh. Do they play the Mei again? I don't think you play the Mei again. I think you have to expect that Brandon Asor is going to come out on this Pharah. I don't love the double hit scan, though. I think it would be great for just either Odyssey or Xin to be on this hit scan. We don't need the Cass and the Soldier, because that just leaves your front line way too open here. Xin Sniper, thinking about the Cassidy. I really want to see Odyssey go over onto the Reaper. They're still debating. Echo, okay. Don't hate this. You're gonna be able to put some pressure onto the Pharah. Not going to necessarily help as much with that consistent damage onto the Zarya, but you do have the cleanup potential. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this works.
3, 2,
4 minutes here for 2 ticks to be acquired on the side of Western to claim the Division 2 Grand Finals here in the Canadian Esports Nationals. Looking to make it happen with a pharmacy here on Kings Row. We do have a lot of space already being picked up by Western. Everybody from UNB have just forced themselves into this tiny little corner. The Cassidy has no space to work with for the side of UNB. Got some blast forcing D-Mister forward. Is going to force out this Nemesis form as well. Trying to claim back a little bit of space. Trying to still be safe though. Trying to play around this corner. A lot of damage being done here. The Zarya bubbles have been forced out. You need to try and find the Elim here, but the Suzu from Jester keeping the Zarya alive. Dr. Tony having that little extra heal perk as well. A little burst heal from the Mercy. Both teams playing very patient here, trying to build up some ultimates. First on the board is going to be that Kitsune Rush. No, it's actually going to be D-Mister with his Annihilation. Oh my goodness. The tank from the side of UNB has just done so much damage. Really winning out on this fight against the Zarya. Finally, a kill going to come through here, but you got the Mercy, so it's going to be coming right back into it. Jester not going to have to wait for that spawn. Kitsune Rush onto the point here for the side of Western. It is going to be the coffee coming out from Odyssey, going to copy over onto that Zarya, and we see the kill come through onto D-Mister just as he pulls out that Annihilation. The grab in response to that duplicate grab, the Deadeye not going to be enough for Xin Sniper. Tick on the board here for Western. You have a barrage just waiting for anybody from UNB that tries to touch. We do have the Lucio hanging out behind point. D-Mister has gone over onto the Wrecking Ball as well. Monk is trying to build up to this beat. The ball has fallen. Oh, that Blossom on the point. A barrage as well for good measure. One Tracer versus the entirety of Western. It's not going to be enough. The team kill comes through. Western University are going to be your Division 2 champions here in the Canadian Esports National. All the way to a map 5. Really incredible series from both teams. UNB putting up a great fight. Honestly, this could not have been closer, but Western clutching it out in the end, getting their final map pick and really making it count. Oh my goodness, what a match. Really impressive. I had so much fun watching this one, and I hope the teams had a pretty good time as well. Thank you so much to the Canadian Esports Nationals for having me co-stream these matches and getting to stream this Division 2 finals. Really, really fun one to watch. I hope everybody in chat enjoyed this this match as well. Definitely one for the books. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end, though. That is it. This is the tournament that has concluded. Division 2 going over to Western. UNB going to take that second place. I mentioned it earlier. Third place match is going to be between Concordia University and the University of Guelph. Check the Discord to know for sure when that match is going to be happening. I'm not actually totally sure of what the schedule is supposed to be like, but definitely stay tuned because all of these matches have been so fun to watch. They've been really competitive, as you can see here. So thank you everybody for showing up to support Canadian Collegiate Esports. I have been Rain. It has been a pleasure to get a chance to cast all of these teams, and I definitely look forward to covering some more Canadian Collegiate action in the future. But for now, that will be the conclusion. So thank you so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.